Guys, watch this video
I mean,
continuation of
she
Zoe's
tried to
song.
unalive you.
He's
She
ready
wanted
to stand for
unalive
Korra in
you,
court.
you know?
He's ready.
I've gotten too many phone calls from state cops saying that she was in the back of their patrol car.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it is what it is.
Right.
I don't lose sleep over it. I won't lose sleep over it. It is what it is.
Right.
And somebody needs to do something. There needs to be a judge out there that finally has had enough and takes control of this situation.
Well, I have a question for you, Robert. Would you, if Korra Obedi's lawyer reached out to you for a statement for the court so that they knew what type of person she is, would you do it?
So if the lawyer reached out to me and said that, they needed my statement for court, like I said before, I'm not the type of person, I will not lie for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if they needed some kind of statement, they called me and said, hey, we need your statement. Okay, you need it. It is what it is. I'll tell you the truth. I'll take a lie detector test. That don't bother me one bit because I know for a proven fact that I would pass it. Right.
Oh, I believe you completely. I mean, because Carrie told me a lot of stories over the last year. Your ex, well, she wasn't your wife, but your baby mama told me things. And now I'm hearing them straight from your mouth and even more, which doesn't shock me because some of the stuff they've told me, I'm like, what? Who is this person? I mean, this is crazy. This is like, you should write a book. You'd make some money off that.
It's like a Dr. Phil or a Jerry Springer episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jerry Springer for sure. Or you know who would be a good one is Steve Wilkes.
Right.
He would be the perfect one because she'd get up there and she'd be like, that never happened. He's a liar. And he'd say, get the hell off my stage. You know? Wow. Unreal.
I've often said if you could make a TV series, I'd be one loaded person because there's just it's never ending.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just amazing that she can get on, like, one of the ladies that used to deal with her, okay? She would get on and she'd say, I'm not Jessica Lickme. And she goes, I wish I was her. I wish I had that sense of humor. But yet, these people were her friends, and they said she would get on there with a straight face and say that when we knew she was running that page. And it used to piss them off. You know?
Right.
It's like, how are the people that are still following her not seeing through? She's been called out on so many lies. You know what I mean? But she always has a story to try to cover them. Like, and anytime somebody calls them out, she just twists it. She is so good at it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But it's like the texts that you sent me, okay? What cracked me up about those text messages is that when she gets frustrated, she tries to type without messing her words up. Like, the texts he sent me, guys, she first pretends she's Bill. Then she pretends she's the neighbor texting him. Then she pretends it's her. Then she goes back, it's Bill. And then it goes back, it's the neighbor, right? But you can tell it's Crystal the whole time because we all know when she gets mad, she'll say, I sat down, period. On the couch, period. ... period. And she starts mistyping the words. And that's what she did because you crack me up. The comebacks that you gave her were getting her so frustrated that she was losing it. And then she started putting the periods and misspelling, even though she was pretending to be them. It was so clear it was her. You know? Like, I know Bill would never tell you you're a piece of shit and blah, 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 when he physically sat down with you and said all the things he told you about her. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's just it. And, one part of that conversation, whenever I said about, Bill called me the other day, I was a liar.
Even though he called you.
Yeah, he did call me.
Yeah, because
you accused me of lying.
You said
I took a screenshot of the call, the incoming call from Bill.
Yeah. I think you sent that in the texts.
That lasted 31 seconds. and sent it to her. And then the tone totally changed. Well, yeah, you said that you were busy and you guys weren't on the phone that long. I said, yeah, he did say that. I said, and I offered to call him back, but he said, no, don't, because Crystal wouldn't like that.
So, I told you there was a lady that used to be in her group that called him at his work, and he told her a lot of stuff too. I'm not even going to repeat that because I wasn't part of the conversation. She did come live and tell her side of the story. And the next day she called his work and they said he quit. How many jobs do you know of that she's made him quit?
At least 2 to 3.
Why does she make him quit? Because she's getting caught and stuff, or?
Either that or she'll call and raise all kinds of problems, like cause all kinds of problems at, the person's place of employment.
What was Carrie said...
back history here that it's a kind of a off on a tangent. It all does come back around to the point of this that I'm trying to make here. So when I was 14, I joined the local fire company, and that was my safe place to get away from my mother. I would go to the firehouse, get away from her, and I learned a lot. So I would go to the firehouse when she was causing problems. And it got to the point where she would try and either call or come to the firehouse and raise all kinds of problems until the local fire company banned her from all of their property. The fire company had 3 different pieces of property. They had a draft site down by the creek. She wasn't allowed on that piece of property. They had the piece of property the firehouse was currently sitting on, and to this day still does. And then they had a diner up the road and rented out that had a lot of truck parking and stuff. That was all 3 pieces of the fire company property. She wasn't allowed on any of the 3 because she would just come in there and cause all kinds of problems at the actual firehouse when I was there. And they banned her from the property.
Wow. Wow. Why do you think that she hates Korra so bad?
I don't really know.
Do you think she's prejudiced? Just because Gabe is a biracial child, she calls him a thug and a turd and everything else. Do you think she's biracial? Because the texts you were sending her were cracking me up. But,
So, there's been times already where she's called him her little N-word.
She called her godson that?
Yeah.
She called him the N-word?
Yeah. Yeah, her little N-word.
Wow.